Hi everyone. We'll be starting our session in next 2 minutes or so. We are waiting for a few more people to join in. So I would just request you to please give us 2 more minutes. We'll start in another couple of minutes. Thank you. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. This is Ravi. I'm the AGM admissions for the postgraduate program in business analytics and business intelligence. Uh, I hope that everyone is able to hear me. In case at any point of time there is any concern regarding the audio or the session, what you're seeing on your screen at this point of time, you can type in the comments or the questions panel, which is there on the right hand side of your screen, and we will be looking into it. Uh, how we are going to proceed ahead in this session, I just wanted to brief a little bit upon that, and how we are going to have a Q&A session also. That is something which is part and parcel of this discussion. So initially, what I have done is that I have prepared a couple of slides for you to understand a little bit about the industry, as well as how the companies are shaping up within the analytics sphere, and how PGPBABI can actually help you in moving further in the analytics domain, or if you are looking forward to use analytics as a tool or as a technique within your current job, within your current organization, how you can go about it and equipping yourself in that particular area. And that is something which we are going to discuss further in this presentation. And I'm sure that during the presentation, you will be having a lot of queries or concerns regarding the program. You might want to know something specific. So what you can do is that you can type in the questions panel, which is there on your screen. And after I'm done with the presentations, I will be taking up those questions one by one. So I would just request your patience in that regard. That please do let me finish the questions, finish the session first. In the meanwhile, you can keep typing your questions in the questions panel, and I will take it up at the end of the session. And I'll try and make it as quick as possible. So if I talk about the analytics industry, over the period of time, we have heard a lot about how analytics is picking up pace within the country as well as across the world, and there is a lot of buzz around the entire analytics industry at this point of time, and it is also precisely for a reason that more and more decisions in today's scenarios, in today's business scenarios, are actually being taken on the basis of the data. On any decision which you are today, the organizations which are taking today are on the basis of the data, and the decision making has been more and more structured as compared to what it was earlier. We used to make more decisions on the basis of how our experience has been in past. Now we are trying to predict the future of a business. We are trying to predict a sales pipeline. We are trying to manage a project. We are trying to build better healthcare facilities using the data analytics and business analytics part. And that is where analytics as an industry is gaining more and more prominence going forward. And that is what we have seen over the last couple of years. Since 2013 onwards, we have seen that analytics has picked up pace. And if I talk about the last 1 year or 1.5 years, then analytics industry has generated a revenue of around $2.71 billion. Although it is a small number as compared to the other established industries in the country, but considering the fact that the analytics vertical domain itself has picked up pace only in the last couple of years, it's a substantial jump over the previous years. And we are seeing an annual growth rate of around 33.5% in within the analytics area itself. Uh, as far as the analytics magazine, India Magazine reports are to be concerned, we are estimating a growth of around 7 times than as compared to what we are today in the next 7 years. So basically, it is going to grow at 100% almost every year. The industry is going to grow. It is also because it is also happening because of the kind of infrastructure, the kind of investments which are actually coming into this area, both from the government side as well as from the private side. I'm sure most of you would have recently heard our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, talking about a lot of these things, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and other activities. He was very recently, he was in news when he was addressing the convocation of IIT Mumbai. And that is where it also shows the interest of the government at this point of time within the analytics area, within the artificial intelligence area. So that is something which is definitely going to grow a lot more. Maybe if it surpasses the kind of estimation which we have in next 5 to 10 years, then I don't think so we should be surprised, because that is the kind of growth rate which the industry is looking forward to at this point of time. And if I talk about the startups which we have at this point of time, then they are also one main source, one major source, I would say, of employment generation, one major source of growth within the industry. A lot of startups have come in last 2.5, 3 years or so, and that is where we are seeing a lot of funding also happening. So professionals or people like you who are interested, or someone might be interested in doing something right from scratch, doing something new. If you are interested in doing that, then yes, startups are also providing a lot of opportunities in the current environment. They are coming up with new ideas and services which they are offering. They are offering analytics as a service to different organizations and even different countries in various ways. And that is where we are seeing that the growth is happening. And in the last 2.5 years, 3 years, we have seen that around $700 million of funding has happened within the startup domain. And that is something which is growing at a fairly fast pace as compared to what it has been in past. This is what I was talking about, that in terms of the revenue which has been generated over the past few years. If you see 2016, 17, 18, it has been on the growth. From 2017 to 2018, the growth has been a lot higher than what it was in 2016 to 17. And we are projecting, as per the reports, we are projecting the growth to be around somewhere around 20. It should cross $20 billion in terms of the revenue generation by 2025. So every year it is actually growing at a very fast pace, and that also presents a lot of opportunities, both in terms of job opportunities, in terms of salaries, in terms of career growth, in terms of usage of analytics, not only within exclusively for the companies who are working in analytics, but also for the non-analytics domain based companies. The more and more analytics is going to pick up pace, the better it is, the more opportunities are going to be generated within finance, healthcare, marketing, supply chain, operations, telecom, and different domains and sectors. The opportunities are going to get generated. People will have to upskill themselves in terms of being more relevant to the growing requirements of the business and being more in line with what the trend is. Because uh, gone are the days when we used to, again, I would say, we used to think more on the basis of the past experience. Now what businesses want, whether you're working in marketing or sales or finance or market, supply chain or operations department, or any vertical you're working in, what the business wants or what your business organization wants is that you should be able to predict that from now onwards to next 5 years, how much you are going to grow, how much you are going to earn, how much you are going to expand in terms of the outcomes what the business has actually set for you. And in order to do that, you cannot just rely on the past data. You cannot just rely on what has happened in past, because what has happened in past might not necessarily happen in future also. And that is where analytics comes into picture. And that is where we are seeing professionals who have even completed their post graduation. In fact, they are coming back and learning and upskilling themselves in this area. In fact, most of the analytics professionals are actually around 40 to 44% of the analytics professionals who are there in the industry at this point of time are having post graduation degrees and certification, because they have felt the need of doing analytics as one of the skill set they should have in their profile, and they have gone ahead and equipped themselves. And that is where we are again seeing more such professionals coming into the system. Now, one big reason for analytics becoming much more popular in India right now is that earlier what happened is, for around 20-25 years or so, Indian IT companies used to design and develop and deliver softwares and ways to capture data and ways to gather data for different countries, different organizations across the border. And that is where the IT industry grew, where IT industry was providing software as a service to different organizations. Now over the last couple of years, what has happened is that what do you do after you have developed those softwares and you have designed a platform where you can collect all the data which an organization is generating? Now, in order to gain benefit out of that, the data which you have generated, the other process which comes into system is analytics. And that is where we are seeing more and more established companies which were actually operating in the within the software area. They are now offering analytics as a services to different countries, and within India also they are offering those services in order to gain more momentum. And this is one place where most of the job opportunities and most of the salaries are also getting generated. And these are basically captive analytics centers which have come up in last couple of years, and they are offering these services to different organizations across the world and within the country. And we can see countries like US, UK, Australia, Germany, Canada. These are the kind of countries where India is actually outsourcing the services, analytics services, to these countries, and US being one of the biggest beneficiaries. And we are generating revenues accordingly, as compared to the previous year. You can see that the revenues have been growing at a fairly fast pace, and as and when there are more professionals who will keep coming into the system, and especially more skilled professionals who will keep coming into the system, the revenues and the growth, that is something which is going to grow up at a much more exponential pace as compared to what it is right now. Now, this is what I was talking about a couple of minutes back, that analytics is something which is, as an industry, that's one thing, but it is being used very actively in different domains, within finance, banking, marketing, supply chain, e-commerce, travel, hospitality, telecom, healthcare, retail. All these segments are using analytics to their advantage. Now, one single example I just wanted to take for retail was that, if I'm sure a lot of you would have heard the name of Target. Target is the retail company in US, and they have multiple stores across US. So what they do is that, across different stores, they were trying to find out pattern amongst different activities which their consumers are doing. And using analytics, they were able to figure out that uh, males between the age group of 35 to 40, so 35 to 40 years of that age group male, what they were actually coming to their store and they were buying beer can. Now, there was one more product along with the beer can which they were buying, and if they would have not used analytics, they would have never been able to find out that, okay, what is that someone will generally buy along with a beer can. Now, if you go out and ask someone that, okay, you're going to buy a beer can, what else you'll buy along with that? And the answer will be maybe some snacks or maybe cigarette or something on those lines. And these are very generic answer, and these are the most common acceptable answers, that this is what a person can use beer along with. But after doing an analysis across their different stores, they were able to find out that men between the age group of 35 to 40, they were buying diapers along with beer can. Most of them were buying diapers along with beer can. And this analysis was made possible by different techniques which they used to analyze the data which was generated from the various users which were coming into their store. This was something which was again became helpful for them to position their product within their stores. Across the different stores what they had, they were able to position the product, that is the beer and diaper, within their store in a place where the sales can actually increase just by positioning of those two products. And that is something which again is a very good use of analytics, where retail companies are using. Have you ever imagined, or have you ever thought that why very fast selling products, or small ticket size products like chocolates or biscuits or something which will be maybe chewing gums, these are the things which are kept when you are moving out of a retail store, when you are billing in a retail store? There is a specific reason for that, and the reason is basically mostly based on the analytics. And that is where product positioning, people who are involved in product positioning team, people who are involved in marketing team, people who are involved in sales team, they all come in together, and they go ahead and process these information and design a system for their organization, right? So that is one example of how analytics is being used in the retail area. Similarly, if you talk about aviation, similarly, if you talk about banking and finance industry, marketing extensively, marketing, the analytics is being used within the marketing industry. So that is something which is there. And I would definitely encourage you all to go ahead and find out on internet. You will find tons and tons of example where there are such interesting usage of analytics basically is happening across different domain. I would definitely ask after this session, maybe pick up your industry. If you are working in IT, in a project management team, or any other team, just pick up that particular domain, go ahead and do a normal search on Google and find out what are the various things which are happening within your domain within using analytics. You'll find that there are so many tons of interesting things which are happening and which we are not aware about at this point of time. So that will give us more insight as to what are the opportunities which can open up for you within your own area also. Or if you are looking forward to upskill yourself, and within your domain you want to, or within your organization you want to make a much better mark than what it is right now, then how you can go about it. That is something which you can at least get an idea. Then you can go on and upskill yourself and add more value and skill set in terms of in terms of the tools and techniques and how to apply those things is concerned. And that is where the program comes into picture, right? Now, this is what the analytics market looks like across different cities. Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, that is something which has been traditionally they have been trending very, very high, and the market size has grown substantially over every year. And these being metro cities obviously are attracting more number of companies and more number of professionals who are coming there. So that is also leading to expansion of market size. Kolkata has also come up in a big way in terms of the market size which we are seeing. A lot of market is there for the analytics job also. Now, what are the key drivers that suddenly analytics has actually improved? Analytics has become one of the buzzwords or keywords over the period of time. Now, we basically call that, and data has become the world's most important or most valuable resource. We used to consider oil and gas as the world's most important or valuable resource, but today, if you talk about any future or any new organization which have come up, which has come up in last 10, 15, 20 years or so, they have come up on the basis of using data. You talk about Google, Facebook, Tesla, Microsoft, Uber, Amazon. All these kind of organizations are actually using data to drive their businesses, right? Amazon is using their entire business model is based on how robust their supply chain and can be, how well they can maintain their stock which they are having, how to club with various sellers, and then provide services to the consumer. All these things require a very, very complicated analytical decision making, which will happen not just by working on an Excel sheet. It needs proper dedicated tools, techniques, and it also needs people who can understand how to work on those tools and techniques. As well as, one of the most important part is that how you can interpret the data and the data which has been generated and the which has been processed using those tools and techniques. Understand one thing, that working on tools is not analytics. You can work on tool, you can learn how to work on tool like in 1 month's time by doing a simple online course, or even you can do it just on your own by reading certain video tutorials. That is not what analytics is all about. Analytics is much more than that, and that is something which I'll be coming in the later stage. But that is where companies like Google and Uber and Amazon have been gaining more and more prominence. Imagine an organization like Google. They know each and everything about you. If you're using an Android phone, they know which route you take to your office every day. They know where your office is, where your home is, where do you go to eat food, from which place do you buy clothes, what is the mode of payment you use, what are the kind of activities you do on weekends. Each and everything Google is aware about. And imagine an organization or a person having so much information about you, how much they can influence your buying or spending pattern. And that is where these companies have gained prominence. They are providing these services to different organizations, and that is why the other organizations who are relying and making their decision on the basis of the analytics generated by them, plus doing their own analysis on the basis of analytics generated by the individual organizations, they are trying to move forward in the current scenario, right? And this is where we have seen that more and more data has been generated because of internet, and the other one is because of laptops, mobile computers, and as well as Android and your basically smartphones. So all of these things have contributed to exponential increase in data. Digitization of data has happened over the last couple of years more rigorously than it has ever happened in India, and all these things are leading to increase in data. Now what to do with that increase in data? You have to utilize it to do a better analysis of different aspects of the business which you are running. And we have seen that the top performing enterprises have shown a 5 times higher usage of analytics as opposed to low performers. And that itself is a very big statement that how much analytics can influence the performance. Now 5 times higher usage is something which is substantially higher than companies who are not using the analytics at this point of time, and they are also seeing results accordingly. So this is something which companies are using more and more going forward. Now one thing which definitely grows along with the opportunity which gets generated within the industry is the salary, as well as the kind of opportunity which you get. We have seen that in the last year, the average salary in the analytics industry which the professionals have got is around 12.7 lakh rupees, and it has been growing over every year. We have seen that around 50, the percentage of professionals having salary more than 15 lakh has increased from 17% to 23 percent in 2018, and that is again a substantial jump. It also means that there are companies who are willing to pay more and more to professionals who are having right set of skills with them. Mumbai continues to be the highest pay master in terms of the cities where analytics is actually trending on a higher side, and around 13.3 lakhs is the salary which average salary which Mumbai is offering, whereas telecom industry is the highest payer in terms of the median salary which we are seeing. So that is something which is worth looking at. But across the industries, we are seeing people and professionals who are actually having relevant skill set and are equipped in analytical tools and techniques. They know how to work on that. That is something which has the salary has been something which has been increasing over a period of time. Now, how does the postgraduate program in business analytics and business intelligence actually helps in improving those opportunities which are getting generated in the industry? How does it help you to capture those opportunities and ride the wave which is there in the industry at this point of time? So that is something which we would want to understand in the next part of the presentation, that how PGPBABI program will actually go ahead and equip you in terms of the relevant skill set. Now, what we have done in this program, we are being one of the oldest program in the country in the analytics domain, gives us an advantage of knowing more and more professionals who have done this program, and also designing the program on the basis of the requirements of the working professionals. So the idea of designing this program in the 12 months weekend format is that you don't have to leave your job in order to attend the program. It is a 12 months program for working professionals where you are coming on one weekend every month. And the main objective of the program is that it should help you in transitioning into business roles in analytics, right? Now, it does not mean that you will not be learning the technical aspects. You will be learning the technical aspect throughout. So day in and day out, you will be working on a lot of tools and techniques. You will be getting hands-on experience and gaining the expertise, but also you will get to know that how to apply these tools and techniques in different business functions or domains. And that is what matters to the current organization, current in the current environment in different organization. That if you are in finance role, if you are looking forward to move into marketing, supply chain, or any other domain, you should know how to go about in terms of both the understanding on the business side as well as the analytics side. The other part is that the program is fairly flexible for working professionals so that you don't miss the classes in case if you are moving from one location to another, if you're getting transferred, if you want to take a break. Uh, all those kind of things are available. If you miss a class, there is a facility available, and those are the things which I'll be discussing in the next half of the slide, that how we have tried and how we have made the program more flexible for professionals who are working, and they do not compromise on their work while they are studying, and similarly they do not compromise on their study while they're working. So that is something which is again a very integral part of the program. The other thing is that the program has been ranked number 1 now for last three consecutive years, and that is something which is a very great, I would say, achievement which we have had, a feather in a cap which we have had, because at Great Lakes we do believe that this ranking what we have had in last 3 years are primarily because of three things. One is because of the kind of faculty which comes into the system and they teach you in the program. These are one of the best faculties which you will get in India. They have been ranked among top 10, top 20 analytics academicians in the country, and they are going to teach you in this program also. Secondly, the other aspect which defines whether the program is good or not is its curriculum. And the third part which defines the program good or bad is the kind of people who join the program, and from which kind of organization, from what work experience category, from what domain they are coming into. All these things define that how well you are going to network and learn within the program, because having a diverse batch also helps you in understanding the same problem from different angles, and that is what this program also accomplishes. And the other part is that when I said talked about curriculum, then the curriculum is actually an industry oriented curriculum. And what by industry oriented I mean is that around 60% of the program is covered by the analytics professionals coming from the industry, and around 40% of the program is covered by the Great Lakes faculty who are coming and teaching you. And throughout the program for 12 months duration, you will be getting a hands-on experience wherein, along with learning whatever you are learning in the classroom session, you'll also get to practice the same thing both in the classroom as well as when you're not there in the classroom. So it is going to be a pure hands-on experience throughout the 12 months of the program. And how exactly it will be, I'll dealing with that in the next part of the presentation. If we talk about the curriculum part now, as I said, one thing which makes us number one, which has made us number one in fact, and which has given a lot of outcome and productivity to our candidates over the last couple of years is the curriculum which we have. And that is where we have seen that professionals are learning more and more, because the curriculum is a mixture of both business as well as the analytics part. And what happens in the business as well as the analytics part is that we are initially, when you will be joining the program, you will be going through certain basic foundation modules which will include introduction to analytics, statistical methods for decision making, business finance, marketing, and CRM. What this does is that it gives you a fair understanding of how these domains work, and these subjects are basically aligned, keeping in mind analytics topic. And that is something which is going to be part and parcel of the program. Then moving forward in the program, you will be dealing with various analytical techniques which will include data mining, predictive modeling, time series forecasting, machine learning, optimization techniques. And these are just the main topics. Under this, you will be learning a lot of other stuff which is actually important for you to understand and implement within the analytics domain, whether it is regression, clustering, ANOVA, machine learning part. You will be taking care of regression and the various aspects within the analytics domain. What needs to be there, what is important for the industry and relevant for the industry, will be covered as a part of the second module of the program. And the third module is where a lot of industry professionals are actually coming and teaching you in the program, where you will be linking both the business as well as the analytics part. Uh, and you'll be learning subjects such as marketing and retail analytics, web and social media analytics, finance and risk analytics, supply chain and logistics analytics. Now, what this will do is that it will give you exposure across different domains, that how analytics is used. Now, remember one thing which I was talking initially in the program about analytics is that analytics is not about learning how to work on tool. If anyone can actually go ahead and learn a very basic simple tool like R or Python or SAS or Tableau, it's not very difficult to learn these tools. These are very, very simple languages to actually understand and implement. You can go and do a tutorial for 1 month or 15 days or 20 days duration. You will learn on a daily basis. If you go and do that, you'll learn how to work on that tool. But that is not what the industry demands. There are many professionals who know how to work on tool, and they are working in this domain at this point of time. What makes much more sense for the organizations today is that a person who knows how to work on tool, a person who knows the data which has been processed on those tools, what are the kind of techniques to be used in which kind of situation, how to apply those techniques, how to analyze the outcome which has come out from from that analysis, and how to present that in a structured graphical manner or pictorial format to the concerned person or to the concerned party or to the organization. That is what an organization wants, and that is what gets encapsulated in these 12 months during the program. That you will be learning about the various tools and techniques like R, Tableau, Python, SAS, and one thing my apologies that I have not changed here is that Python is no longer an online module. Python will be taken in some parts in the classroom session. R and Python both will be taken in classroom session. You will be learning throughout on R. That is going to be the primary mode of teaching, and some parts will be covered on Python also. So that is something which is there, and Tableau again will be taken up in the classroom session. The only online module which will be available is SAS. If you are interested in going and learning SAS also, the learning material and other aspects related to that will be made available to you. You can go ahead and practice the same data set what we are teaching on R and Python. You can go ahead and learn on SAS also if you are interested to do so. So that is something which is going to be part and parcel of the program. And data visualization is the other module which we have, where we help you in understanding how to do a data visualization for all the problems which we are solving. Now, one of the most important part of the program is the capstone project. What happens in a capstone project is that in the last second half of the program, wherein around 3 to 4 months of the program, you will be working on live industry oriented project where you will be assigned an industry mentor who will be guiding you throughout this capstone project. Now, you can pick up a project in your area of interest, whether you want to pick up this project in telecom, healthcare, supply chain, automobile, in marketing area, or any other domain which you are interested in, or where you want to pursue your further career. Now, what we have seen is that most of the professionals actually who come in the program are not from analytics background. Now, for example, if you are not in analytics background, then you need something to actually go ahead and present in front of the recruiter that, okay, I know something about analytics. And what that something is, it is this capstone project. And that is where you build your credibility and reputation when you're talking to the interviewer, because that is where you get asked most of the questions. Hardly we have seen that a company would have asked the candidate that, okay, show me your certificate for the business analytics program. What they ask is that, show me the kind of project which you have done in the business analytics program. And that is where you get asked most of the questions. That is where they understand that how technically strong you are in terms of the tools, the techniques, the analysis part, what you have done, how well you have understood those parts. And that is where they question you most of the times. And that is where we have seen capstone project is one of the most important part, and it becomes kind of a stepping stone for you to further move into the domain. Many times we have seen that candidates who want to transition within their company to analytics domain, they actually go ahead and get the project from their own company, and they try and showcase and demonstrate to their organization that how much they have learned during the program, and they have been able to transition using that mode also. So the capstone project actually presents a lot of opportunity. Many of our candidates, in fact, in the last batch in Gurgaon also, we have seen that couple of candidates have actually done a capstone project. This project is done in a group of around 4 to 5 students. They have done this capstone project, and they have then gone ahead and started their own startup on the basis of this project, right? Now they came together with a common interest, with a common project in mind, in a similar kind of a domain, and they went ahead and started their own startup. There is a lady who was earlier working in a reputed IT organization, and now she has started her own consulting organization in the analytics area, and she is doing fantastic at this point of time. So multiple opportunities keep getting generated within the program, apart from over and above whatever we share with our candidates. Candidates are also inquisitive, and they are doing something on their own. On the screen you can see that the kind of projects which our candidates have done in past in different domains, the kind of techniques which they have used in order to actually do these projects. These are something which again is you will be doing during the program. Now, the other part which makes us a very, very strong, strong institute, strong school, or the strong in terms of what we are delivering, is the kind of faculty and industry mentors which we have. And as I was telling you about that, amongst our faculty, we have faculties who have been ranked among top 10, top 20 analytics academicians in the country. Someone like Dr. Bapaditya, Dr. P.K. Vishwanathan, Dr. R.L. Shankar, they have been ranked in those categories. And these are very, very senior professionals. They do not only bring the relevance from the international area, but also from not only from the national as well as the international domain, because these are the professors, these are the faculties who not only teach in India, they also go out and teach in various countries like UK, Germany, France, US, and they bring the relevant experience and expertise from those areas and also impart to the candidates who are studying in our program. They are the PhDs and qualifications from top-notch institutions in India and abroad, and they are the ones who are going to teach you in the program. Similarly, some more academicians which we have, and they'll be teaching you in the program. And the other part of the academics and the faculty gets contributed by the kind of industry faculty which is coming into the program. These industry academicians or the faculties are actually very, very senior professionals who are doing this day in and day out within their organizations, and they are coming and teaching you and sharing their experience and making you understand that how a specific thing within the analytics works. And these are mostly senior professionals or business heads or vice presidents or directors or say co-founders, right? These are the kind of professionals who come and teach you in the program. Now, what is that which makes PGPBI unique? That is something which I wanted to spend just 5 minutes, quick 5 minutes of time. One is that it gives you a Great Lakes advantage. Great Lakes itself is amongst the top 10 management institutes in the country, and we are one of the oldest institute in the country to have been offering this kind of a program, and which has resulted in the curriculum becoming more and more equipped to the requirements of the industry, as well as evolving over a period of time. If you see the rankings for Great Lakes for its management education, it is amongst top 10 across most of the institute, most of the rankings, as well as if you see government rankings, which was recently published by NIRF, which is a human resource development, Ministry of Human Resource Development ranking. We are ranked number 16. Now, considering in the private institutions, if you see in the private institutions within the same ranking, we are ranked number 4, because most of the other institutions which are ranked in the top are mostly IITs and IIMs. After that, Great Lakes has been ranked at number 16, which itself is an achievement for us. As well as if you talk about Career 360 or Business World or Business India, Great Lakes give you that kind of an advantage. And it is not only because we have established our name in the analytics domain, but it was also because we have the kind of infrastructure, the kind of faculty, the kind of people who come and join in the program, and also because of the kind of transition which our candidates are able to make after doing this program. That certificate, when you take from Great Lakes, that value it gets along with you. The other part is that the program is very flexible for the candidates, and Olympus, which is our learning management system, helps you in making much more flexible. All your study material and learning material is actually uploaded on the learning management system, that is Olympus, and you can access that at any point of time from your home or from your office or from anywhere. It is accessible. You will be able to see all your study materials there. In case if you're missing any classroom session, so what happens is that you can actually log into the Olympus at any point of time after the session is over, and the recording of that session is actually uploaded on the learning management system. So in case if you're missing any classroom session, you will still be able to recover whatever you have lost. You can go through the recorded videos of that session, and whenever you are there in the classroom next time, you can clarify your doubts from the program office or the faculty. You can do that. The other part is that there will be a continuous program office support. So at any point of time you are stuck at any place that you're not able to move forward, you're not understanding any module or any system, so you can write to the program office. They will revert to you immediately in couple of hours, and what they will do is that they will help you to connect with a mentor or a guide who can help you in solving your queries or concern. That is the other part. The other support which you get is that you will also be eligible to become an alumni of Great Lakes Institute of Management, which will open up similar opportunities which are open for our full-time candidates for our management education, whether it is in terms of job opportunities, in terms of any other facilities or events or seminars or workshops which we are providing to alumni. We'll be doing that same for our this BABI program also. The other part is that the program is also a dual certificate program. So you will be getting a certificate from Great Lakes Institute of Management as well as Illinois Institute of Technology from Chicago. And that is something which adds a lot more value, because what we do is that we present our curriculum. Illinois Institute of Technology actively engages in understanding whether our curriculum is as per the requirements of the industry, as per the requirements at the international level, whether it is meeting certain requirements or not. And that is where Illinois Institute of Technology comes in, and that is why they also provide certificate to the successful candidates who are successfully completing in the program. So you will be getting two separate certificates, one from Great Lakes and one from Stewart School of Business from Illinois Institute of Technology. So that is something which is there. The other part which I talked about, the flexibility part, is that in case if you're missing the classroom session, as I told you, that you can go back and check the classroom recording. That is one thing. If you're getting transferred from one location to another, you will be able to transfer your candidature from that location to the another location if we are offering our program in that particular location. In case if you're moving out of country for 6 months or 1 year or 2 year, we'll be more than happy to accommodate your candidature request. We can defer your candidature. Whenever you come back in India again, you can actually take up the program, or if you are taking a break because of certain professional commitment or personal commitment, you're not able to continue in the program, you can take a break, and that option is provided by the program office. So these are all the things which make the program very I would say productive for working professionals. And the other aspect which is again which we have added as one of the features in the program is hackathon and e-portfolio. So what e-portfolio does is, I'll just show it to you. Just give me a second, please. Yeah. So this is how an e-portfolio looks like. So what does an e-portfolio do for you is that during the 12 months of the program, as and when you keep on doing certain projects, certain course related projects as well as capstone project, this e-portfolio keeps getting generated automatically. And what happens in that case is, all the activities which you are doing, all the techniques which you are using across different projects, they all keep getting captured here automatically. And at the end of the program, you can share this is a shareable e-portfolio on LinkedIn or Facebook or those kind of platforms. During the once the portfolio is generated, you can go ahead and share this portfolio on these platforms, because many a times we have seen that there are companies, there are professionals who are actually using these platforms to hire analytics professionals, and depending on the basis of the kind of projects you have done, on the basis of kind of skill sets you have in terms of tools and techniques which you have used. And that is why we have brought this feature. You can move to websites like Hacker Earth or Kaggle or these kind of places where recruiters are actively looking for to hire professionals based on the kind of project work which they have done. And this e-portfolio can be shared on that particular platform. So that is something which is there, as well as I was talking about hackathons. So during the program, we also organize certain hackathons for every batch, wherein you get a much more elaborate hands-on experience on a particular problem statement. And there is a recently, if you will visit our website, you will find that recently we have conducted one hackathon. It went very great. Like, candidates were able to actually participate and compete with each other in terms of knowing whose model works the best, who is able to relate to the problem statement in the best manner by working on the various tools and techniques which we have taught in the program. So all these things again make the program very productive and attractive for the candidates, especially the working professionals who are looking forward to join this 12 months weekend analytics program. Now, I'll not spend much time on the alumni speak part. You can definitely visit our website. Our alumni currently are working in one of, I mean, top organizations in the countries. You name the organization, they are actually working there. So it is also, again, because of all the things which I just talked about. All those things contribute to moving from where they are to where they were to where they are at this point of time. Now, I'm sure a lot of you will be having query related to career enhancement, that what we do. So what we do is that we provide an active support. So we provide an active support in terms of the opportunities which gets generated for our candidates during the program. So there is a team which we have, a career support team which is there, which looks after generating more and more job opportunities for our candidates. And we provide a career support services with that respect. So we reach out to different organizations to seek for lateral opportunities which they have, and we share those opportunities with the candidates who are participating in our program. And during this, it generally happens in the second half of the program, where you would have at least learned some concepts so that you can demonstrate it to your recruiter. So we keep sharing those job opportunities to our candidates, and if you're interested in applying for those opportunities, you can submit your resume to us, and we will forward it to the organization. And then the process is taken further from there. So in past, we have seen that companies like McKinsey or Amazon, Cipla, Swiggy, Deloitte, Genpact, Zomato, or these kind of organizations, top-notch organizations, in fact, have shared the job opportunities with us, and we in turn have shared it with our candidates. And the kind of salaries which have been offered across different job opportunities, depending upon the work experience range, it ranges between 5 lakhs to 50 lakhs in terms of the opportunities which have been shared with our candidates. And as a result, what we are seeing that around 35 to 40 transitions are happening every month. Now, these are the transitions which are happening from our the set of candidates who have just recently graduated from the program, as well as from the candidates who are also there in as a part of the program. And this is something which is happening actively on the basis of the kind of project work which they have done, the kind of understanding and the expertise which they have gained over a period of time. And one thing which goes a long way in determining what kind of opportunities which you can get is also the kind of networking and the exposure which you provide yourself during the program. Now, networking with the industry experts who come into the program, as well as the batchmates which you have in the program, becomes very important. If you see across every batch, you will find that the kind of work experience mix which we have kept it deliberately in that manner, because we want to make sure that when you are solving a problem or when you are working on a capstone project, you don't just work from one point of view. If there are professionals from different industries, they give you different point of views in terms of solving the same problem, depending upon from which industry they are coming from. So that broadens the understanding of the work which you are doing in the program. That is one thing. Now, when you're working or studying in a batch with an average experience of around 8 to 9 years, and the highest experience goes to around 15, 18, 20 years or 25 years also in certain cases. So there are professionals who are also working in a position where they can actually influence, or actively they can make a hiring decision within their organization. And we have seen in past that these professionals have gone on and hired their own batchmates. If they are performing well, we have seen that people have been hired by their own batchmates themselves. So that is one kind of an opportunity. Some time back I was talking about the opportunity which people created for themselves by working on a project. They came together in a group of 4 5 people, and they worked on a project, and they went on and started their own startup. Someone actually became a freelancing consultant within this particular domain. And all those kind of opportunities gets generated because when you are working, when you are studying in the program, it just opens up your mind to different possibilities in different industries, which currently a lot of professionals who initially join the program, they are not aware about. This happens because we are having active resume, interview preparation, industry session, all these kind of things which are happening. It is opening up the minds of people in terms of the opportunities which exist, and all those things have worked together to make sure that around 67 to 70% of the professionals who are joining in our program, they have been able to transition into analytics. Now within they would have transitioned either within their organization or outside, but that is where they have been able to move. And that is something which is again a very important aspect of the program, because ultimately you join a program because you want to gain certain uh, concrete outcome from it, whether it is in terms of salary increase, in terms of the opportunities which you get. Even if I talk about the salary increase, then on an average we have seen that our candidates have got a hike of around 40 to 45% in that range after completing the program or after transitioning. And that is something which, again, considering that most of the professionals are from non-analytics background, is a very substantial output or hike which mostly candidates are getting, as compared to an industry standard where generally people get between 25 to 30%. So these are the opportunities which you can definitely explore. Now, this is the batch profile which we have. Professionals are coming from different industries: IT, BFSI, consulting, research, automobile, different industries. And the education background is also like that. You don't need to have an engineering background, or you don't need to have a knowledge of how to work on tools and techniques. That is something which we will be teaching you in the program from scratch. All you need to have is that you should be comfortable dealing with data, statistics, sorry, data, statistics, and numbers. That is something which is a very important aspect of the program. Now, this is the work experience distribution. Most majority of the candidates are between 8 to 12 years, and that is where our average experience comes to around 8 years or 9 years or so. It starts from 2 years and goes to as high as like 22 25 years also. These are the kind of companies where our candidates are coming from. Again, these are the top-notch organizations where they come from, and they are moving to within the company, they are moving to better positions, or they are even moving towards the organizations which they aspire for. So that is something which is happening throughout the 12 months of the program. Now, some important details I just wanted to share: that in order to be eligible for the program, you need to have a bachelor's degree as well as minimum 50% of the graduation. Your previous experience in analytics or coding is not required, right? So you don't need to have a previous experience in coding or analytics. Tools like R and Python are fairly simple tools to understand, and anyway, we are covering those tools from scratch within the program, so you should not be facing difficulty. And as I said, most of the professionals are not from IT, not from analytics background, so they have been doing that. And we are going to launch our 50th batch in PGPBABI program in the coming 10-15 days. And that is something which has been made possible because most of the professionals who are joining the program are not from analytics background, because we don't have that much professionals in analytics at this point of time. And that is something which you should definitely not be worried about, because the program space as well as the structure is as such that it should help you in understanding each and everything from end to end. The program fees is 3,95,000 plus GST, which is 18%. What you will have to do is that you'll have to go through a selection process wherein your profile, after applying online, your profile will be screened. You will be going for the shortlisting process, and then on the basis of that screening and the shortlisting and the interview process, what happens, an admission offer will be given to you. within the 10 days time frame after the admission is offer is given to you, you will have to pay the admission fee to confirm your candidature. That is, you'll have to pay 59,000 rupees to confirm the candidature, and the remaining fees needs to be paid in 3 equal installments starting in the first month when the batch is commencing. Now, if you are looking forward for any kind of education loan assistance, then we have a tie-up with HDFC Credila and DHFL Avance Education, as well as Zest Money. You can definitely go ahead and avail those options. The With Zest Money, we offer a very less amount of interest rate, because we have a direct tie-up with them, as well as with HDFC and Avance Education. We are offering very low education loan interest rate at around 10.15%, which is exclusively only for Great Lakes candidates. So that is something which, as an option, is made available to the candidates. Right, so that was all about the program and the details what we have. These are the batch commencement dates which we have. Bangalore, we are starting in the month of September, October. Chennai again, August. We have just in fact started the batch last weekend. My apologies that I have not updated. The next batch in Chennai is going to start in the month of November 2018. We are going to start a batch. In Delhi, in South Delhi, we are doing this batch. 13th batch will be coming up in October. In Hyderabad, again, August end last week, we are going to launch the batch. Mumbai, September, and Pune in the month of November. So that was it from my end in terms of the program information and the details. If you are interested in knowing more about the program and talking to our admissions team, you can reach out to the mobile number as well as the email ID which is written. If you want to write to me, you can also write to me about the program or anything. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Now, I can see that a lot of you have also written questions in the questions panel, and I would like to take them up one by one. So Anuj has asked that I have done my MBA in agribusiness and working for 8 years in agribusiness companies of repute in sales function. I would like to give my career a sound transformation. How much applicable will the course be for analytics to me? Also, will there be any placement assistance post completion of the course? So Anuj, regarding the placement assistance, I have already told you that what we do. As far as your current experience is concerned, and I was in fact talking initially about the number of professionals who are actually entering into the analytics domain with master's degree, and most of the, I would not say most, but around 44-48% of the professionals in the analytics domain today are actually having master's degree with them, and that is something which is again substantial, and it is on the rise. With the kind of experience you have, it's as I said, you don't need to have a technical knowledge or experience before coming into this program. Uh, you need to have an understanding and liking for data statistics and basically numbers. Till the time you are able to do that, you should be able to move forward. The other part is that as far as the analytics within the agriculture area is concerned, right? The analytical ways actually have changed within the agriculture area. I'll just take a small example. So in today's scenario, the companies are actually using satellite images to actually predict the output of the crop, which will get generated from different areas within the country. Now, this you cannot actually sit and analyze these images in a manual manner, as well as you need certain algorithms, you need certain mechanisms to identify that how satellite imagery can be actually used to identify that in this year how much production of crop India is going to generate, and which crop, whether if there is a hectare of land, then out of 1 hectare of land, how much crop will be productive, how much crop will not be productive, just on the basis of the images which are getting generated on satellite. That is kind of a image analytics or aspects related to that which are being used in the agriculture domain. Now, you are working in the sales function. you will have to develop certain pipeline that, okay, in the next 10 months this is what I'm going to do, in the next 10 months I'm going to sell this much, this is the production, this is the output, this is the capacity which we have, this is the price at which I'm going to sell. These are the kind of you'll have to take into account all the unforeseen situations, I mean, which you don't expect to happen, but you still will have to make a robust pipeline. And in order to do that, you will have to use analytical tools and techniques to help you in estimating that. Otherwise, if you are taking a decision based on what has happened in past, it will not give you the kind of productive output which you are actually looking for. And that's what we have seen in past. But in agriculture, how analytics is being used, I have given you one such example, and there are many such examples. And I would say definitely go ahead and do some more search on the internet, that how analytics is being used in the agriculture domain. You will find tons of examples with image analytics, where satellite images are being used. That is something which you can definitely find. So Mr. Ramachandran Rajgopalan has asked that what could be the reason for analytics coming in the forefront in past 2 years. So Mr. Ramachandran, I've already told in the initial slides that one big reason is that there is exponential increase in data generation. Now, again, I'm taking a very small example of Google, right? Now, there are so many companies who use services of Google that because of the kind of data which it generates, right? Earlier, people were not having access to Android phones or laptops or internet or computer. Now they have. Even in the villages, the penetration of internet and Android phones or smartphones basically has increased substantially. So what that is doing is that every click what you are making on the system is actually generating more data. Now, if you are actually, a very small example is that if you are searching for a selfie stick, right, you will find that next day there will be, or immediately 10 minutes after that, there will be an ad on your Facebook showing selfie stick from different sellers, right? That is a very basic form of analytics, right? A digital marketing analytics which has been which is being used there. So similarly, there are so many tons and tons of data which is being generated. Facebook is used by everyone, Twitter is used, Instagram is being used. So all these things are being used to analyze the behavior, the pattern, the kind of things which you like, the kind of things which you comment. Everything is actually noted and monitored, and on the basis of that, certain activities, certain products, certain services are sold to you. And that is where the companies and the growth actually comes from different organizations, because there is a link. Everything is connected with each other, and that's where we are seeing more data getting generated, because more people are on phones, more people are on internet. And if data is getting generated, it has to be utilized. If it is being utilized, then it is being utilized in the form of services, products which are being offered, and we are paying for that, those services and products. So Viji has asked that why do you think analytics will taper down in 2025? So Viji, I don't. So the initial slide what I showed, I don't think so that analytics will taper down drastically or something like that. See, at in any industry, at some point of the time, after the industry has achieved certain growth rate, there is going to be some slowness which is going to be there. Right now, whether that the growth will dip, I don't think so that the growth will dip, but yes, the growth will slow down maybe slightly to a certain extent, because when you are moving to from 0 to 50 speed, it is very easy, or yeah, it's kind of easy to move from 0 to 50 speed. But when you move from 50 to 100 speed, it becomes all the more difficult. And while the industry is moving from 2018 today to 2025, there are more opportunities, there is more growth, right? And because of that, more professionals want to join, and people who are moving into this domain early, they will be getting the first mover advantage, and they will be part of the journey, the growth phase of this industry. Once most of the people would have joined, once the industry would have realized that, okay, this is the maximum potential which we can reach, or maybe instead of growing like 50% or 70% every year, we'll grow only like 5% or 10% every year. Obviously the growth pattern which will be there, it will taper down a little bit. So that's how it mostly, it, mostly, it, happens across most of the industries and trends which we see. So Mr. Ramachandran has asked that are there examples of analytics used in infrastructure industry or power roads? Yes, absolutely, Mr. Ramachandran. If you talk about power, if you talk about real estate in India, real estate analytics is being used in to a certain extent by different organizations in terms of understanding the various geographies, in terms of understanding the kind of the materials and the products, in terms of the pricing, in terms of the maintaining the supply chain for that infrastructure project, how it needs to be done in terms of understanding the sales process of that project, all those kind of things which are there. If you talk exclusively about product power sector, then yes, how much load the a particular suppose if there is a power plant in the Delhi NCR region, how much load that power plant has to handle, which all areas it needs to distribute, what are the discoms which are associated with that, what are the TND losses which the companies are facing, what are the reasons for apart from TND losses, what are the other losses, how they can optimize those losses. All those kind of things are actually part and parcel of the analytics, and we are seeing companies like Reliance or Tata or these kind of companies are using analytics a lot to their advantage in order to maximize on the in order to maximize the profit and reduce these losses which they have. It is being actively used. In certain sectors, the growth of using analytics is slightly slower than the other sectors, but as I said, as and when more and more professionals are getting exposed to analytics in these sectors, more professionals are actually using it. So the industry is also using it, and they are growing at a then faster pace in over a period of time. But yes, power and real estate definitely, at least not real estate, power and infrastructure area are actually using analytics to a great extent. So Prabal has asked that what kind of support do we get into coding of tools, R, SAS, Python, etc. So Prabal, your entire program, if you're doing regression, if you're doing some scatter technique, if you're learning, if you're doing any kind of clustering technique, if you are learning machine learning, if you are doing any activity throughout the 12 months of the program, you will be working on R, or and in certain cases you will be working on Python. Now, uh, throughout the program you will be getting end-to-end support in terms of understanding how to work on these tools. So initially when you start working on a tool like R, you will be working from right from scratch. In the first 3 classroom sessions you'll be working on the tool, how to get started with that, what are the basic techniques and of actually working with those tools. You will be given certain assignments or case studies or various kind of quizzes you will be given uh, uh, to actually work on these tools and techniques so that you can gather more momentum and pace over a period of time. And we have seen that our candidates who join the program, within the initial 3 to 5 classroom sessions, they pick up the pace on of working on R and Python very, very quickly. And these are very, very in fact simple tools to understand. These are not like very high funda coding languages which we have. These are fairly simple tools where you can just write problem, where you can write statements in terms of getting the analysis done. So you should not find that difficult. Vijay has asked that do we have HR analytics? So we do not actively cover HR analytics, but we have, as I said, across different domains, we are covering analytics. If you are interested in HR analytics, you can go ahead and take up a capstone project within the HR analytics. You will be appointed an industry mentor, as well as it can be an industry oriented project which you have, and for 3 to 4 months you will be working on that project. So that should serve the purpose if you are looking exclusively for HR analytics. But one thing which I should definitely tell and remind all of you is that analytics, regardless of which domain you are applying in, the way you apply analytics remains the same. The kind of tools and techniques which we use in analytics, it all remains the same, whether you apply in BFSI or telecom or healthcare or supply chain or any other domain, right? So all what changes is your understanding about that particular domain. So if you are having an expertise in HR area, you learn analytics, you club those things together, you work on various projects, and That is what the companies value. Many consulting companies will be looking for professionals who are having HR as a skill set, as well as they know analytics. They will be having, because they will be having so many clients who are actually working, where they are working on an HR project where analytics is actively used in today's scenario. And that is where professionals like or profiles like your can come into play. Avinash has asked that do we offer crash course for experienced professionals who are ready to take a break to switch the career? Well, Avinash, ideally the program is for professionals who want to work as well as study. In case if you want to take a break from your work, you can very well do that, but I would say that is not an advisable thing to do, because uh, the reason why we have designed the program is that you can actually continue along with the work, because what that gives you is much more stability. If you are working in an organization, it also gives you an opportunity to apply the things which you are learning within your company, also within the work domain what you have. So it also gives you a much better work hands-on experience, not only when you are there in the classroom session or when you are there at home practicing the things what we are teaching, but also at in your office when you're working on certain projects. You can very well use these techniques, and we have seen that many candidates actually, they sometimes come and tell us that they don't have an analytics expert within the organization, and whenever there is a project which comes up which has something to do with analytics, our candidates who are participating in a program, they say that they are called by their managers or bosses, and they are actually asked to present certain things, and that is where their value gets enhanced, right? And that is why we recommend that you should continue, and the change in job can happen even after the completion or at the end of the program, rather than taking a break from the job and then doing a program. So Kantam has asked that does Great Lakes offer full-time classroom program in analytics? For if you're a working professional, no, we do not provide a full-time working classroom program for analytics. It is a one weekend every month kind of a classroom program which we have. Uh, Uh, Farheen has asked that what are the kind of job or role or positions have the candidate been selected for? So Farheen, these jobs and roles where the candidates have been selected for, it has been depending upon the kind of experience and the kind of work or the project in the industry where they have worked in. Now these roles can differ from company to company. Sometimes a company comes, maybe a little less known organization comes and might offer a VP position for a particular profile which they are looking for. Whereas at the same time, for the same profile, a very established organization or a very big organization will come and offer a senior manager position. Now, to compare that VP is a better position than senior manager position, no, depends upon company to company. And similarly, the compensation also gets paid to the candidates. But in general, what we have seen that around most of the candidates, the average hike which our candidates have got from the program is around 45% or so, and that is where most of the professionals lie at this point of time. Mr. Ramchandran has asked that is there a scope of analytics in procurement domain of supply chain? Mr. Ramchandran, I think supply chain is a very big user of analytics domain at this point of time. I was taking an example of Amazon earlier, that how analytics is being used in the Amazon's entire growth chain, how they have used analytics. If you talk about the kind of new ventures they are moving into, it's purely based on analytics and AI and machine learning part. If you want, we can definitely have a separate discussion, and I can also arrange a call back for you, especially separately from our senior learning consultants, and they will be happy to help you out with more details on this particular aspect. Ashutosh has asked that he is working in in insurance backend operations as a team leader, assistant manager, total 9 years of experience. Want to transition into business analyst role. What percentage of my insurance domain knowledge is going to be utilized? Well, Ashutosh, you are working in a, if from analytics point of view, insurance, how analytics is used in insurance, I'm sure you will be having some information on that part, because uh, insurance is a very risky business altogether in itself. How much you are, how much of investments you are doing, or insurance you are giving to a particular person, to a particular organization, and the all those kind of things become a very tricky business, because the entire revenue model is based on the premiums, what actually comes from the people who are, or the organizations or the businesses where you are insuring, right? There are a lot of opportunities which are there. Unfortunately, I don't have a relevant example to give you immediately, but what I can definitely do is that I can share with you certain relevant examples regarding how insurance analytics is being used within the insurance segment for further improvement of the processes and having more reliable business outputs. That is something which I will definitely be happy to share with you. Bhaskaran has asked that difference between big data and data analytics. Now, Bhaskaran, big data is something, basically what we used to do is, you would have heard about Hadoop. Big data is nothing that the data is big, to be very honest, in a very layman language, right? One when there was an enormous surge in the data generation, so we needed a much bigger and much better tool to handle that. Then that is when Hadoop came into picture. Then the data requirement actually increased further, and when the data increased further, we needed much better set of tool, and that is where you would see that most of the now companies and most of the professionals are looking forward to learn R and SAS and these kind of tools, which is SAS, sorry, R and Python, these kind of tools, which are having more relevance at this point of time, and they are having more capacity to actually handle the kind of data which is being generated. Aaron has asked that, are the classes both on Saturdays and Sundays, and how many hours a day? So I actually forgot to explain the entire process, that you will be having classes one weekend every month, not on all the weekends, one weekend every month. So for example, in the first month, you will be coming for 3 days of classroom session. That is one Friday, one Saturday, and one Sunday. These are three continuous days. Then there is a gap of 20 days where you will be getting various assignments, case studies, quizzes, project works, mini project, all those kind of things which you'll be getting between those 20 days. Then in the next month, you will be having classroom session only for 2 days, that is Saturday and Sunday, right? So in the first month, you will come for 3 days of classroom session. In second month, you will come for 2 days of classroom session. In the third month, again 3 days of classroom session, and in the fourth month, again 2 days of classroom session. So this 3 days, 2 days in alternate will keep continuing, will continue for 12 months duration. That is something which is going to be there. And these classes are for around 8 to 9 hours duration on the weekends, right? So you'll start the classes in the morning 9:30, and it will go till around 5:36 in the evening. So I have a couple of more questions here. I'll just skim through just a couple of questions, and then accordingly I can give you the answer for that. Just give me a second. Okay, so someone has asked me about the Pune location and what programs we are offering there. So we are offering PGPBABI program there. Location is something which I would definitely request the admissions team to share the mail with you regarding the exact location. Pardon me. And as far as the course is concerned, we are offering currently PGPBABI program there. So Prabal has asked that, so a person with no stats or no coding background could be successful in BABI. Well, Prabal, you have asked that give us some confidence. The confidence what I can give you is this, that, and this is not only exclusively for the past batches, right? If you see the kind of education background and the kind of people who are coming into into the program, right? And if you just focus on the education background part, majority of the candidate are coming from non-analytics background, and as well as from non-engineering background. There is again 50% of the candidates are there who are not BE Tech, right? Even in the industry part, if you will see, only around 12% of the professionals are coming from consulting, research and analytics part. Remaining 88% of the candidates are coming from non-analytics background, and these are the professionals who are not having a hands-on experience on the IT part, or maybe or the coding part, or in terms of the statistics part, right? Even if you see the education background, not everyone is from mathematics or statistics background. There are people from BCom and BBA and MSc, ME, MTech, these kind of MBA, these kind of backgrounds also. As I said, you will be taught how to work on the tools and techniques. It's not going to be a difficult journey for you in terms of understanding R as a tool. When you will be, I mean, you can just go and do a simple Google search and find a free course on R and try and understand how it works. It's a very, very simple language to understand, as well as Python, right? These are basically languages which run on reasoning, right? If this happens, then do what, right? All those kind of things are there. And it's a till the time, again, if you're comfortable with data and numbers, you're not afraid of that, you should be able to manage that. And that is what the background and the industry diversity within the program actually suggests. And from the last 50 batches what we have had, this is the kind of distribution we have had across different industries and different backgrounds, that every time only 10 to 12% of the candidates come from analytics background, remaining come from non-analytics background. So that should not be a concern. That is something which I can definitely assure till the time you are putting in the required effort from your end. So I think I have already overshot the time. There are like couple of questions still remaining, and there are fairly big questions which are there. What I would definitely request is that I will personally actually reach out to Farheen, as well as I will reach out to Sheila. You have asked a question to me. Please do not take it otherwise. Unfortunately, because of time constraint, I will have to end the session here, because the answers which I have for you will again take around 15-20 minutes or so, because this is something again more related to the profile. So let me get back to both Sheila as well as Farheen. I will definitely answer your question, as well as I will request the admissions team to reach out to all of you again to see if you have any concerns regarding the process, or regarding the any aspect of how the program or how analytics is more suitable for your profile. We'll be more than happy to address that part. And again, my apologies that I'm not able to answer all the queries at this point of time, because I'm running a little short of time, as well as because of certain constraints which we have. Please let me get back to all the people whom I have not been able to answer. I'll be happy to answer them individually. So thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us today and spending your 1.5 hours basically with me. And it was great actually having questions from all of you. Thank you for the patience throughout the session, and I hope that the information was good for all of you, or informative at least. For it did help you in understanding more about the industry as well as the program. And in case if there are any concerns still, please do reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you out with more information on this part. And I look forward to seeing some of you in our upcoming batches. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you.